And as we know, Greece, a country going through extremely tough times at the moment. I think the football players, the team, well aware of what a massive lift they could provide if they can beat Russia this evening. It is a very big if. We've given you the Russian lineup. The two sets of players are exchanging handshakes. Let's tell you about Greece. Lots of changes in the defence. A switching goal which is enforced because Kostas Halkias, the 38-year-old, picked up a hamstring injury in the defeat to the Czech Republic, so he is out this evening. His replacement in that game from the bench was Michalis Sifakis, who actually was the regular goalkeeper in qualifying. He starts tonight. Socrates Papastathopoulos comes back into central defence after very unluckily being given a red card in the first game against Poland. It allows Kostas Katsourannis, the experienced midfielder, to go back into his more familiar role, and Papastathopoulos will play alongside Kyriakos Papadopoulos at centre-back. There's a change at left-back. Georgios Savelas gets his first appearance of the tournament. He replaces Jose Holebas. Vasilis Torasidis continues at right-back. Katsourannis is alongside Maniatis and Georgios Karagounis. What a huge night for him as well. The skipper, 35 years old. He wins his 120th national cap, which moves him level with Theo Zagorakis as the record cap holder for Greece. An extremely proud night for him, which will be made oh so more special if Greece can make it through to the quarter-finals. And a lot resting on the front three as well. Greece need to win the game. They will therefore need to score at least one goal, you'd imagine more. Dimitris Salpingidis starts on the right-hand side. He's probably looked the most dangerous attacker for them in the tournament. Gekas gets the nod at centre-forward. Georgios Samaras starts on the left-hand side. We're just about ready to get underway. We will constantly keep you updated on the progress of the other game. Poland, the hosts, playing the Czech Republic in Wrocław, because of course that will have an impact on what happens in the group. So we will continue to repeat that. And our guess, I think, Pat, I think we're of a like mind here, is that, well, I certainly expect Russia to win and to win the group. But it's a huge challenge for the Greeks tonight. Yeah,
and they've nothing to lose. And remember, the Greeks haven't played particularly well, but they're still there. They know they just got to go and win a game of football, and they've qualified for the next round. So they're very fortunate they're still in that position just now. So we shall see what they've got to go for tonight. Interestingly, I was asking you early on there about Glushakov. Would he sit in as a replacement? Well, actually, he's lined up in the field just now in a very different position from the man he's replaced. He's playing almost in the right of midfield going forward, the number 22, Glushakov. So we'll see if he's a more attack-minded player. And Russia look as if they're just playing with maybe one sitting midfielder as opposed to two. So a more attack-minded Russian team tonight.
You can hear the big countdown to kick off. Our referee is a Swede. He goes by the name of Jonas Eriksson. He's blown his whistle. Of course you couldn't hear it. Capacity here is something like about 50,000 for this tournament. Looking around, it looks pretty much full. And if you win this group, you get to come back here and play in the quarter-final. I can only imagine, Pat, you were here, what the noise must have been like for Poland-Russia 4 days ago. I love this stadium.
It was absolutely brilliant. And there was a bit of tension. I have to say there was a wee bit of tension to not always the best of friends, the Poles and the Russians. And you could feel it around the place, but there wasn't too much trouble. Certainly there was a little bit outside in the town, but it was a buzz. But I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with tonight. And the Russians, to give them the due, their supporters have come in very, very big numbers tonight.
So we're underway. Russia in red with gold trim, gold numbers on their backs, and Greece easy to pick out as well. They're in bright white with blue trim, and Russia in this first half playing from right to left as we look at it. The big enclave of Greek fans, all in blue and white, is behind that goal away to the left-hand side. So far, lots of Russian possession, but pretty much inside their own half. We played a minute. It's 0-0. It's 5 Live Sports Extra at Euro 2012. Zhargoev immediately looking threatening. Now then, here they come. Glushakov with the pass to Zhargoev, right-hand side. Arshavin hits a first-time shot, scuffs it appallingly. Might be a chance for Shirokov. Keeper comes Sifakis. Had to be quick and got there. Important moment for him and for Greece.
Lovely play by Sifakis here, because, you know, there was a real misunderstanding in the Greek defence there after a dreadful shot by Arshavin. He's out there, he's 17 yards out, but he's read it well. And so playing with real confidence there, Michalis Sifakis.
Greece's problem in their first 2 games, the draw against Poland and the defeat against the Czech Republic, has been slow starts. Didn't get out of the blocks at all in the opening game, came back well, despite having the man sent off. and then conceded 2 goals in the first 6 minutes against the Czech Republic at international level. Obviously, extremely difficult to come back from that. Let's see what they've got tonight. The champions in Euro 2004 actually played Russia during that tournament in the group stages, lost to them in the group stages, but still went on to win the final. The only defeat of that competition for them. Samaras has won them a throw-in right down by the corner flag on their left wing as they attack the goal away to our right-hand side. 2.5 minutes played. Greece 0, Russia 0. And just got a buzz about this, Pat. I'm enjoying this.
You know, I would agree with you, because I just looked at the kind of body language of the players, and I like the way the Greeks have started. They're up for it. There's no doubt they thought, we've got an extra chance here we never expected. Maniatis with a dangerous ball into the near post. Flags up. Salpingidis threw himself at it, got a head on it, it went wide. But the offside flag was clearly up. So just to keep reminding you, if Russia avoid defeat this evening, they are through to the quarter-finals. If they win this game, they win the group. Greece will qualify if they win. And the bottom line as these two teams are looking at, there's other permutations as well, and of course we'll keep you updated with the Czech Republic against Poland in Wrocław, which will change things. Ball through here from Shirokov, which Glushakov is trying to get on the end of. He's the new guy in the side, having come in for Zurianov, and he's looked to get forward. He has, and he's done it on that right-hand side, and we all know that there was a massive weakness on the right-back sort of area, the right centre-back area of the Greeks in this tournament so far. It's been about the plainest weakness of any side. They've made a change tonight, but the Russians are trying on that right-hand side early on to see if they can put a little bit of pressure there. 5 Live Sports Extra at Euro 2012. Full commentary of Poland against the Czech Republic is over on 5 Live. That game you can also watch on BBC One and BBC One HD tonight, and this game is on BBC Three in HD as well. But you can push the red button if you want to listen to us. So if you want the pictures, but you want Pat Nevin and myself, then you know the channels, you know the buttons, and it's up to you. Greece have a throw, left-hand side, 4 minutes played in the first half here in Warsaw. The referee's just spotted a little something going on. He's having a word with Karagounis here, and I think it might be Denisov as well. Those two look to have clashed off the ball. Yeah, both of them are not averse to the odd challenge, and particularly Denisov likes a tackle. He's the holding midfielder for Russia. Pat Nevin with us in Warsaw this evening. Greece having a bit of possession early on here, which they'll be pleased about. Torosidis is an attacking right back. One of their standout players, actually, for Greece. Scored a couple of goals for them in qualifying. Has a throw in here, 10 yards short of the corner flag on the right-hand side. Ball above his head. He waits to take it. Throws in. Greece keep possession with Karagounis, who's looking to win the corner, which he has done for Greece. It's Greece 0, Russia 0. Because they're having a little argument there with the referee and the assistant referee. No point in doing that. Go on, mate. You've got a corner kick. It's a pretty good result you got there. Just slowing the play down for the Greeks, and the Greeks shouldn't do that. Should play at a high tempo, I think, tonight. Certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons if Greece score early. I have written down a few permutations by which Russia can go out. It would be unlikely, but let's see. Karagounis into the near post, flicked on, and the keeper has to palm it away. The ball was looping over him towards the far corner. Greece still have it on the left-hand side. I think that was going in, you know. It was Katsaranis who ran into the near post and just gently flicked the ball towards the far post. Well, if it wasn't going in, it was going to be nodded in at the back post by Salpingidis, wasn't it? Malafeyev got a very important glove on that. As Pat says, Salpingidis was in there. He scored, of course, in the first game against Poland. Greece have started well in Warsaw. Czech Republic 0, Poland 0. As far as we're away in Wrocław, the other group game tonight. Corners whipped in low again to the near post. Flicked on, volley driven in by Torosidis with the left foot, blocked out of the area. Samaras heads it into the box, and the referee wants to clash of heads in the penalty area. The referee wants to stop play immediately here because we have a Greek player and a Russian player. Gekas is down, Anyakov is down, and both of them are looking, if they were in cartoon, they'd have those sort of birds tweeting about their heads, wouldn't they? They both went for the header at the near post, and Anyakov has headed Gekas in the back of the head, so I suspect Anyakov could have one of those comedy eggs in the front of his head as well. That's a very, very sore one. He's not knocked out or anything, so I'm not over worried about his health, you know, with the head knock. but certainly he'll be in quite a bit of pain.
This is how Russia could go out this evening. They start tonight on 4 points. The table in front of us actually has them on 5 because they're constantly updating these tables. So the tables are reacting as if this is the final result as it stands 0-0. Russia could go out tonight, Pat, if they lose this game and Poland win, or the Czech Republic win, so I'd say a positive result in the other game, or if the other match ends as a draw and they lose by a 6-goal margin or more. I can't see Greece beating Russia by 6, so I think we can forget about that one.
I'm happy you looked that one up, but I don't think I'd have gone that far, to be fair.
Yes.
But it's in the interest of the Greeks. I mean, if they go 1 or 2 up, which is still a big if, they won't be chasing 5 or 6 because they will want to keep what they've got. So it's not going to happen, as simple as that. If the Greeks get ahead, they will try to hold their lead because they know that win is enough for them. That's all they care about.
And that's how they won the title itself back in 2004. As I said, lost to Russia in the group, got themselves into the quarter-finals though, and from then on it was 1-0 all the way. Beat France in the quarter-finals, the Czech Republic with a silver goal in the semi-finals, and then they beat the host Portugal by 1-0 in the final.
I'm still not convinced I believe that actually happened. I remember watching it and I just thought, looking back and I'm thinking, they've not done anything, they've just defended. Give them a due tonight. Now, this is important, particularly Greek fans will want to hear about this as well. This is a much more positive Greek outfit, not only than that one, but in anything they've played in this tournament so far.
Gekas in the penalty area, a little nod down to Samaras in bright orange boots this evening. Crosses in, that was close. Salpingidis threw himself at it at the near post, couldn't make contact. There's some early chances for Greece here.
Do you know what? They've had 3 really good chances. Really good chances. Unlucky that I didn't get on the end of it. But Samaras, who is often a figure of fun, even in Scotland where I live, where he plays with Celtic, you know, you've got one fantastic game out of Samaras, and then you'll have 9 waiting for it to happen again. Well, this might be the one, because he started really lively tonight, Georgios Samaras.
21-year-old Zhagoev, 3 goals to his name, gets involved for Russia. That's the other part of the equation for Greece, though. Of course, they've got to try and stop this Russian team as they pour forward. Kurzhakov hasn't mentioned his name so much this evening. He drifted out to the right there and he's won Russia a throw, which the right back Anyakov prepares to take. There's no one within sort of 20 yards of him. Now the run comes from Zhagoev. His cross is blocked by Samaras, who Pat was just mentioning, so busy doing some defending for his team as well. Greece 0, Russia 0, 9.5 minutes played, 0-0 in Wrocław as well. Lovely back heel from Shirokov. Zhagoev crosses in, Arshavin, and it's blocked and saved by Sifakis. Arshavin got a left boot on it, stabbed it straight at the keeper. Either side of him would have been 1-0.
Isn't it great? Less than 10 minutes gone. 4 really good chances already. That's what tends to happen in the last of the group games. You know, sometimes group games, although not in this tournament, they can be a bit dull with the first couple of games. However, when it comes to the death, particularly if all 4 teams feel as if they've got a chance of winning it, you tend to get a more open game, and I suspect we may get one of them tonight.
Lively start in Warsaw. Ball is just inside the Russian half here. Header is won by Berezutsky at the back. Now Zhirkov jumps and wins another header for Russia. Ball up to the halfway line. Greece in the white shirts with the blue trim. Torosidis trying to knock one down the line. Came off Arshavin's shins. The assistant referee gave the throw in to Greece. Arshavin wagged his finger and the referee, he was a little bit further away, changed the assistant's decision, and the Russians got the throw in.
Yeah, it was a slightly surprising one, I must admit. I was in agreement with most of the Greeks at that point in time, but got on with it, and it's not in a dangerous area.
10 minutes to go. 10 minutes gone. Greece 0, Russia 0. Glushakov lays back to Shirokov, who steps away from a rather desperate sliding challenge from Katsaranis. Zhagoev towards Arshavin. Nice turn from Arshavin. He was caught as he made the turn. It was Zavalas, the left back, who came in. Free kick for Russia. Good 30 yards out, though.
Yes, a long way out, but they can build something on there. They've started doing that. Great ball by Arshavin.
Gone quickly. Anyakov, right-hand side, pulls it back. Zhagoev gets underneath it and blasts it over the bar.
Suddenly all the excitement without Zhagoev evaporated in the moment. That was a dreadful finish. I'll give him the slight benefit of doubt. I think it took a little bobble just before it came to him, but just looking along it now, Arshavin's a bit lively tonight, like the start he's made. Zhagoev's been involved quite a bit. The player who played poorly the other night, Shirokov, I think he looks as if he's up for it tonight. another player who loves to play when he's given a little bit of space. And I think he's cruising across the ground nicely tonight. He looks good.
He's another one of the Zenit St. Petersburg connection. Played at Euro 2008 actually as a centre-back, because that's where he was playing for Zenit at the time. Russia played Spain in the first game, and before the game, Shirokov, who's known to have an opinion or two, said that Spain were a bunch of nobodies who could pass the ball about but couldn't score.
I'll tell you what, we're not getting him as a pundit, okay?
Spain won 4-1, he didn't play again.
And Spain have done quite well since.
Yes, not a bad side, Spain. They're up against Croatia in their final group game. That's on Monday evening. That will also be a commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra here. Greece 0, Russia 0, 12.5 minutes played. Zhargoev with a little switch pass trying to find Kurzhakov. A ball back into the midfield. Shirokov, we were just talking about him. Little layoff to Zhargoev, looking for the 1-2. Comes back to Kurzhakov, edge of the box, hits the volley. Oh, a screamer! Just past the upright on the left-hand side. He's yet to score in this tournament. Now, Pat, that goes down as his 11th shot off target, but that was a great strike.
Hence my hatred of stats being overused. He's had some shots in this game that have led in this tournament so far that have went 50 yards over the bar. That was inches away, good technique, but that'll still be another off target.
Yeah, he's having one of those tournaments at the moment, but he is in this front three, just such an important cog, just like Arshavin, just like Zhargoev. Pavlyuchenko has come on to replace him in the first 2 games and scored in the first game, of course, against the Czech Republic. But Kurzhakov, I think, just offers that little bit more subtlety. And
but what about the build-up to that as well, though? The little back flicks, the little dummies. I thought that was a beautiful build-up to that chance there.
Torosidis driving forward, the right back. Good long run for Greece, up to the edge of the box. Eventually it's cleared by Berezutski. The ball drops down, headed forward by Zhargoev, who wanted more of a run there from his skipper Arshavin. Long ball over the top. Gekas tries to bring it down, and the goalkeeper almost out of position there. The ball bounced high, and he had to scramble back, Malafeyev, and clutched it about 3 yards short of his goal line. Otherwise he would have been extremely red-faced.
Do you know what? I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this game of football, because it's so end-to-end. I was going to say I'm sure the fans are loving it as well, but there's so much tension involved in it. I don't know if they do enjoy it in that sort of way, but really both teams going at it, certainly opportunities. I really hope it keeps on going for 90 minutes like this.
Great fun so far. Russia, as things stand, with the other game 0-0 in Wrocław, as Glushakov comes forward with a crisp pass there into Zhargoev, who couldn't quite control, so Greece will come away with it. Karagounis has lost possession, claims he was fouled, and wins the free kick. As things stand, if both these matches finish like this at 0-0, which the way this has started I'm not sure it will, Russia will win the group on 5 points, the Czech Republic will qualify on 4 points thanks to their win over Greece, and Poland, the hosts, would go out having drawn all 3 games. Very interesting, Pat. I'll walk through Warsaw this afternoon, because obviously there's a big Russian presence. There was a big Russian turnout, of course, for the second game against Poland, but it just felt like we were interlopers a little bit, like it's Poland's big day today, and everyone in Warsaw, you felt the buzz, but you felt the nerves as well.
Yeah, I think with the Polish side and with the Polish supporters, it's not about winning the trophy, it's getting out of the group. If they get out of the group, they've really surpassed the expectations, and they've got a great chance tonight.
Greece have themselves a corner. It was a big wedding day, we noticed as well, in Warsaw this afternoon. Lots and lots of weddings. Glorious day for it. It's been a broiling hot afternoon in the Polish capital, and it's a sticky night, as we keep saying. 15 minutes gone. Greece 0, Russia 0. Corner for Greece. Karagounis, the skipper, with his right foot, whips it into the box. Malafeyev comes and decides to punch it. Good clearance on the punch. Arshavin with a cheeky little touch. Plays the ball down. Denisov came across to pick up possession. Arshavin's going to take a little risk in front of his box, but obviously he's got the skill to get away from his man, and then slides a wonderful pass to Zhirkov, who's 40 yards ahead of him down the left-hand side. Zhirkov gets past his man. He's in the penalty area, he's still going. Pulls the ball back, and it's cleared behind for a corner. There were 2 Russian red shirts in the box waiting to tuck it away. Zhirkov just couldn't find them.
I've waited 196 minutes for that. Zhirkov has not done that in this tournament so far. He's played every minute of the game, of both games before that. I know that he can do that. I've watched him do it with Chelsea, I watched him do it with the Russian team beforehand. He just hasn't exerted himself enough. He's spectacularly good at going forward like that. First time he's done it, but that's the best move of the game.
Pat Nevin with us on 5 Live Sports Extra. Euro 2012. Greece 0, Russia 0. Arshavin was about to take the corner. Referee Jonas Eriksson spots some.
Well, I think he was actually buzzed by the extra additional assistant whatever on the 6-yard line.
Yes, he spotted some. So they're doing something, Pat, there. They're keeping their eyes on the action. The additional assistant, who are new for this tournament, obviously we've seen them in European competition in the last couple of years. He stands at the moment just on the edge of the 6-yard box behind the byline, the opposite side to where the corner is being taken. Arshavin's going to curl it in from the left, but obviously he's in position to have a look at a goal line decision. Arshavin curls that in. It's headed away easily by Samaras at the near post. Greece 0, Russia 0, Czech Republic 0, Poland 0. At the moment it has Russia going through as group winners. Czech Republic would also go through. Zhirkov drives a shot. It's deflected. It spins up in the air. Rather lazy from Salpingidis. Gifts it to Arshavin, who scoops the pass straight into the body of a Greek defender. Samaras is away. Up to the halfway line. Good pass from Samaras here. Gekas in the penalty area. Is forced wide. Looking for Samaras again. The cross comes in. Initially blocked by Ignashevich. And then whacked away. And out for a throw-in to Greece.
Georgios Samaras was very unlucky there. He got the break. Played the ball wide, but he's moving in the 18-yard box when the ball was played in. He went to go shot to the near post and then double back to the back post. He was completely free had the ball landed there. Gekas didn't see him.
Greece throw in then, just short of the corner flag on the right-hand side. Taken to Karagounis. Torasidis onto his left foot, curls the cross in. Malafeev comes, again opts for the punch, leaning over a couple of his own defenders. It's good contact on the ball with the white gloves. Zhirkov on the spin over on the left-hand side, looking for Arshavin. That was overhit the pass, so Torasidis has it for Greece. They made a better start here, certainly, than they have in the first 2 games. Not there, though. Ball given away to Zhagoev. Zhagoev hits the shot. Sifakis goes scrambling away to his right and makes the save. May just have been going wide. I think it might have just taken a slight deflection, took the pace off it as well, Pat.
Yeah, I know, but he's 30 yards out. I know he's got 2 players in front of him, but for me, I think Zhagoev's got the ability to go and drive it at one of those players, take it past one of those players and develop the space a little bit better. I don't think it was necessary to take a shot from there.
21 years old, Zhagoev. You know he's one of the names that's going to be bandied about at the end of the tournament in terms of a possible move wherever that may be. CSKA Moscow is his current club. Impressed in the Champions League for them this season. Actually picked up a toe injury towards the end of the domestic season. And I think CSKA, because of his absence, slipped out of the Champions League spots. So they're not qualified for the Champions League next season, which obviously could play a part in a decision for him. Karagounis really had to stretch to try and keep the ball in on the right-hand side.
Yeah, he almost injured himself as well. He went in a very, very strange position. Often that can lead to a dodgy ankle, but he got away with it.
And here's Zhagoev forward to Kurzhakov. Kurzhakov lays it back. Glushakov through the middle to Shirokov. Lovely movement again from the Russians and touch. Kurzhakov runs into 2 defenders. Arshavin with the drive, just drags it wide and behind for a Greek goal kick. 20 minutes gone. Greece 0, Russia 0.
The last thing Greece want is another injury just now, but it would appear that they have got one. One of the
Maniatis.
Yeah. He's not usually one to go down easily, and he got done by his own player who went in for a tackle. He's in quite a lot of pain there, but he's slowly but surely getting up with the help of the referee. But once again, the Russians, for me, they look their very best when they break with pace. I noticed this very particularly in the first game. They like to sit back a little bit and try and intercept balls roughly about the halfway line, and then they've got 4 players flying out very, very quickly to get into those sort of areas, and they like going through the D, very much like the Spanish do. They go through the D of the 18-yard line, try little 1-2s, and when it works for them, it looks brilliant.
You just preempted my question there, Pat. I was just about to ask you to sort of explain the movement of that Russian front 3 and the midfielders coming on.
It's set up, and UEFA's got it, down as a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's kind of quite confusing because they don't play 4-3-3 at all. They more often play a 4-2-3-1. They've got 2 sort of sitting midfielders, but they've got 3 in front of them who just go and attack everything and go and get as far forward as possible, because you will notice that quite usually they've got 1 player, and at the moment it's Kurzhakov, and it usually is him who stays up front, holds the ball up, and it's basically the link man up front.
Karagounis was caught there by Zhagoev, so Greece won themselves a free kick. They've given the ball away rather sloppily inside the Russian half. Lot to do here for Jagoev, but he's done well and found Kurzhakov, who's going to hit a speculative shot off balance from the edge of the box. It's blocked and spins away for a Russian throw.
Remember that intersection I was telling you about just 30 seconds ago? That's precisely what they play for. They play for it all the time, and they're very good at it. I mean, to be honest, I think Jagoev, everyone knows his skill going forwards, but his interception numbers have been absolutely brilliant in this tournament, and it started a lot of good attacks.
Greece 0, Russia 0. It's the kind of team, Pat, I imagine, Russia, that you yourself would have enjoyed playing in back in the day.
I would have enjoyed playing it because there's a bit of fluidity. A lot of British football to this day it's quite static. They play their very rigid lines and 3 lines. You've got your forwards, your midfielders and your defenders. A lot of teams out there want to play with more fluid systems than that, and certainly the Russians, A, they play with 4 lines for a kick-off, and B, they're very fluid between them.
Good noise inside the National Stadium in Warsaw. I'm sure you can hear that in the background behind us. Greece 0, Russia 0. We're midway through the first half. Arshavin's drifted over to the right for the time being. He's lost the ball. He's trying to win it back with a fairly tame challenge on Samaras, who quite easily held him off and then cleared the ball slightly aimlessly down the pitch. Gekas will chase, but he's completely outnumbered there, so the Russians quite easily pass the ball around him.
They're having a better period now, aren't they, the Russians? They're holding it better now, they're getting forward better. Their confidence and you sometimes call it the arrogance they have is now coming through. They've got real belief in themselves.
Sloppy from Arshavin there, easy pass from Denisov, just rolled right underneath his boot, broke down the momentum of the attack. Greece has just suddenly dropped a little bit deeper here, all inside their own half. The ball was cleared, and so Russia have it again. Greece 0, Russia 0. Still 0-0 in the other game in the group between Czech Republic and Poland in Wrocław. At the moment that has Russia going through as group winners, playing their quarter-final here against the runner-up in Group B, likely to be either Portugal, Holland or Denmark. I think probably Germany will win Group B. The runner-up in this group would then play Germany, which will not be easy. They look good.
They look fantastic just now. I mean, probably most people joint favourites or favourites for it, along with Spain.
Been a great tournament so far, just like Euro 2008 was, which is precisely why I think, and I think a lot of people think, they shouldn't increase the size of the tournament in terms of teams, because the next one goes to 24. Russia have lost the ball here as Denisov floated it out of play. We haven't had a poor game yet, but I don't see why they're messing with this.
I do. I know exactly why they're messing with it. Correct. Okay. Don't want to be a cynic.
Yeah, I know. I mean on the football front, it's a shame, isn't it?
No, the football front is absolutely fine because it's not too big, it's not too unwieldy. There aren't wasted games, there aren't pointless games. And to be fair, I think there's a fair chance that you'll get a few more pointless games. But, it's as they call it, bums on seats.
Shidakov, edge of the area, hits the drive, it's deflected. Sifakis had it covered and the ball spins behind for a corner to Russia. Russia have taken control in the last 10 minutes or so. Salpingidis wants a word with the referee Jonas Eriksson here. If you have just tuned in, this is 5 Live Sports Extra. We've got Greece-Russia in Group A tonight. Our sister station 5 Live with John Murray and Danny Mills is bringing you commentary of the Czech Republic against Poland. Both games are 0-0. Greece started well in this game, had some early chances, some early danger inside the Russian penalty area. Russia just starting to assert a little bit of their authority at the moment. They have a corner. Arshavin with his right foot into the area. Samaras couldn't get the head on it. It is cleared by Greece, flicked on by Gekas. Anyakov spots Arshavin coming back from an offside position. A bit lazy.
Yeah, well said. Well said. That's a problem with Arshavin. I know why sometimes he's slow getting out, because he's trying to stay unmarked. But sometimes it's just lazy. He doesn't get out, and that killed his team's chances of a good counter-attack there into an area where Zhirkov was running onto it.
Football tomorrow, by the way, on 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra, because that's what we're doing, obviously, for the next 4 nights, as there are 2 games kicking off at the same time. Tomorrow night, Holland against Portugal in Group B will be on 5 Live, and Germany against Denmark will be the game on Sports Extra. Here's Andrei Arshavin, the Russian skipper, with the sort of luminous yellow captain's armband wrapped tightly around his left arm. He's just
interesting in the background there. There's 2 teams playing, Russia against Greece tonight.
Yeah.
But the song there was Polska.
Good point.
There's a few Poland fans in here tonight.
I'm sure there's a fair few of them actually who've got the earphones plugged in and are across everything that's going on. Who knows, could even be listening to 5 Live somehow if they can do that. The ball is curled away to the right-hand side. and picked up good move by Russia, and Anyukov couldn't get on the end of the return pass from Zhagoev. If he had, he was right in behind the Greek defence. Goal kick for Greece.
And you look at the reaction of the two players there. They've both gone down and their hands are on their knees, not because they're tired, because they know that was very close. That was brilliant movement, great passing. It was millimetres off.
It is, I keep losing track of days, it's Saturday night. England's last group game is Tuesday night. England against the Ukraine, as ever on 5 Live, all the build-up and full match commentary. And of course every day here at Euro 2012, the Football Daily podcast is available after we're off air. And that is available via the 5 Live website. The BBC Sport website as well, by the way, is just a wealth of stats, information, reports, analysis, results. It's just a fantastic place to go to keep across Euro 2012. www.bbc.co.uk/sport. They also do that rolling text commentary.
It's actually much easier to navigate than the UEFA one as well, which a lot of people had been using, but I know a lot of journalists have turned off the UEFA and went for the BBC.
Oh, well said, Pat Nevin. That's why we employ him. 27 minutes gone in the first half here in Warsaw. Greece 0, Russia 0. Been very, very intriguing stuff so far, and it's still right in the balance. Greece, if they win, will qualify from this group. Russia could still qualify with defeat. Karagounis lobs the ball into the back post just over Salpingidis, who I think might have fouled Zhirkov as he was going for it. And the free kick goes Russia's way. Nice
little technical move that they did from the throw-in. It's an unusual move. It's one that the coaches often try now and again. Excuse me, they throw at a very unusual angle. And what's expected then is you go and have a shot at goal from the kind of the edge of the penalty area. In that case, he tried a cross, but in actual fact he was supposed to shoot from there. Didn't shoot, and the chance was missed.
Coming up to half an hour played here. Greece 0, Russia 0. Zhirkov in the red of Russia finds Denisov. Denisov's ball just laid off by Arshavin. Back to Shirokov, who's that little bit deeper at the moment. Shirokov plays the 1-2. Denisov gets involved again towards Kurzhakov, to Zhagoev. Right hand side, Arshavin rolls it in. Kurzhakov was waiting. Sliding challenge there from Papastathopoulos. In fact, it was Papadopoulos. I wound up for the big name, and it was the slightly shorter one, but it was an important block.
It was an important block. Good defending, but once again, it's that man Kurzhakov, a lot played through him. And many people back home in the UK are having a laugh at him, the chances he's missed. I think he's played superbly in this tournament. Just hasn't scored any goals, but he's been central to everything. His hold-up play and his vision in link-up has been magnificent.
Russia are looking dangerous again. As I say that, a misplaced pass there. Shirokov couldn't get on the end of Glushakov's ball. Dick Advocat, remember, is their manager. Another Dutchman 4 years ago, it was Gus Hiddink, who got them extremely close. Shirokov here picks up possession 25 yards out. Dummies a little right-footed pass, rolls it back to Denisov. Russia are going to be patient here and try and pass their way through. They've given the ball away. Gekas went flying for a challenge on the halfway line. That was just shoulder to shoulder. He's gone down injured. There was no foul. Russia have possession. Berezutski's thinking about knocking it out, but it's play on. And it should.
Yeah, absolutely. It should play on. You're not always supposed to stop when the referee tells you, and that's usually if a clash of heads. There's nothing wrong with him. Get on with it.
Zhagoev dragging the ball in on his right foot, looking for the 1-2 with Arshavin. Again, it's intercepted. You just feel something is brewing here. Denisov across the Greek half to Glushakov. Long way out, fancies the shot, and lets it go flying over the bar. That lets me use one of my stats that we spend so long researching, Pat. I've written here on Glushakov, who we haven't seen yet in the tournament, likes a shot. He has scored the most goals from outside the penalty area in the Russian Premier League last season. Not like that.
Not like that, not from 40 odd yards and almost the same over the crossbar. It's a shame that, because that's the antithesis of the Russian way of playing at the moment. They want to play 1-2s and get through to the D and push into the ground that way. So I suspect Mr. Advocat is not delighted with that play there.
No, he will not be. Dick Advocat, 64 years old. When Russia are knocked out of this tournament, that is it for him, in charge of the Russian national team. He's going to be taking over at PSV Eindhoven. He'd love to win a major finals with someone. He's had a go, of course, twice with Holland. 94 World Cup, lost to Brazil in the quarter-finals. In the USA, Euro 2004, Holland made the semi-finals and lost to Portugal. And, of course, was with South Korea in Germany in 2006. Couldn't get them out of the group stages. after their superb performance in 2002, I think, under Hiddink.
Hiddink again, he's just following Hiddink a bit like a bad smell at the moment.
Greece 0, Russia 0.
Been at PSV, that's it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right. Here's Samaras. Left-hand side for Greece. Knowing a win, Greece will qualify them for the last 8. The ball is floated across the right-hand side to Torosidis. Torosidis, nice control. Left-footed cross into the back post is headed away by Berezutski. Shirakov, little risky pass back to Zhirkov, who didn't have much time but cleared with his left foot. Kurzhikov loses the aerial battle to Papadopoulos. Jargoev tries to get onto the loose ball, and the left back there for Greece, Savelas, was in quickly and he cleared it away, and it's gone out for a Russian throw. Pat Nevin.
He hasn't done anything wrong, Savelas.
No.
A lot of pressure on him coming into this game in the left back area. He wasn't preferred in the first 2 games, and both of those games for me, I thought Greece looked really, really poor in that area, but he's come in, and so far, so good.
No goalless draws in Euro 2012 so far. We've got 2 at the moment tonight in Group A. As far as I understand from Wrocław, it remains Poland 0, Czech Republic 0. Here, Greece 0, Russia 0. Those 2 results, if they stayed the same, would have Russia through as group winners, Czech Republic going through as runners-up. The host Poland would go out. Samaras is trying to get past Denisov, and he's fouled by Denisov inside the Greek half. And Greece get the free kick.
Touch harsh, though. No. I mean, the referee was close. I'll give him his due. He was close, and for me, I thought Denisov got a touch of that ball there.
Yeah, Samaras looked a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a touch of it. No, yeah, definitely.
He tried to get past him.
Thought it was a good one. Yeah. Got lucky, Samaras.
Absolutely loving this stadium. I'm sure listeners back home will have seen it on television. I've never seen anything quite like it. The roof came over, of course, for the first game of the tournament, which Greece are involved in against Poland. At the moment, as we look up through the circular opening, there's sort of wires across the top of the stadium roof. Papadopoulos here comes across from centre-back and makes an important interception. He's done well for Greece so far in this first half. They have a chance to launch an attack down the right-hand side. Katsouranis to Karagounis, 2 of the players involved in the Euro 2004 win. Important figures in the Greek team still. Zhirkov slides in. Arshavin tries to take the ball on the turn. Fell as he did so. Maybe took a little knock in the back as well. Stays down, but the ball goes out for a Greek throw. But as I understand it, Pat, this sort of post office tower bit in the middle, the roof, the net or the curtain, as it were, appears from that and fans out all the way around.
It is totally and utterly fabulous.
It's incredible, isn't it?
I mean, you come to obviously Ukraine and Poland as well, and they've never had stadiums of this standard before, and it's great. And let's hope they're used and well used in the future, you know. But wherever you go in Europe at the moment, I was in Bucharest recently in the new stadium there. I mean, that's just fabulous as well. And a lot of the countries that were behind the Iron Curtain for many years now catching up a wee bit. There was a bit of catching up to be done, to be fair, when the stadiums and I played in the old days, before a lot of those stadiums had been renovated, and they weren't the most welcoming. Most of them had huge running tracks around them. They weren't very steeply banked, and they were even so quite intimidating. But now, very different, very modern, very 21st century.
The ball is midway inside the Greek half. You weren't missing too much there while we were discussing stadia around Eastern Europe, because Russia had lost possession on the left-hand side and Greece took their time over the throw-in. Greece 0, Russia 0, 10 minutes to go until half-time. Czech Republic against Poland over on 5 Live. John Murray and Danny Mills with that one. Both of the games tonight on BBC television as well. Now here's a chance for Russia, and it's Jargoev trying to find Shirakov. Was he tripped there as he made his run into the box? I'm sure Karagounis might have caught his heels, possibly unintentionally. I'm not sure Shirakov would have gone down if he didn't need to.
Well, I think he felt a wee shove, and he's gone down looking for it. And that's my first. I mean, I'll wait and see a little replay of it, but my thought was, do you know what? Stay on your feet, mate.
Yes,
if you stay on your feet, you're in. I think he was looking for that there.
Ignashevich hits a right foot shot, and in slightly comic fashion, the big centre-back slips over and hooks it well wide. And again, that's exactly what Pat was talking about 10 minutes ago, about the long-range shot that Russia don't really do.
No, they don't do that, and it doesn't suit them. And for me, my original call there about the penalty kick that they were looking for, no chance, not a chance in the world. And he's having a little bit of a go at the referee.
Yes.
He's completely and utterly wrong. There was no foul. If he had stayed on his feet, he'd have a chance of creating an opportunity across, because he was away from the fullback.
His complaint to the referee was the old classic, the lifting of the fingers. putting them round the eyes like spectacles. You need Spectref. I don't know what that is in Russian, but the message was very clear. 9 minutes to half-time on 5 Live Sports Extra.
So far the referee hasn't needed specs, because let's be honest about it, he's not really done much wrong, has he?
No, absolutely not. Greece 0, Russia 0. Just to finish the point on this stadium as well, something that sort of comes, I think, from American sport a little bit. The other thing, I've never seen it done like this. Obviously stadiums have big screens, but these ones are right in the middle, above the pitch. Now then, Kerzhakov with a shot that's blocked as he went for the far corner. So they're a good 50 feet up in the air, but any seat in the ground, you have got a view of a screen kind of from any side. Yeah, no, it's totally fabulous. There's no doubt about it. Arshavin flicks a cross in towards the near post. Good defending. The ball is volleyed away by Papastathopoulos, which is not easy to say quickly. Here's Arshavin, 40 yards out. Floats another pass, delightful one, nodded down, shots for Kerzhakov, miscued there. Then Zhagoev goes down looking for another penalty. I don't think that was one either. He claimed he was pulled over.
I think it's probably closer. I think that one may be a wee bit closer. Again, I'll wait and see. There wasn't a huge amount in it, but there might have been a little bit of a tug of the jersey there. But another opportunity, was that when it was headed down, I think it fell for Arshavin. That's his second total miss.
No, that was Kerzhakov.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, well, who did the nod down then? I thought it was Kevin.
I think it was Zhagoev who did the nod down.
Well, a complete another air shot.
Yes, which, funnily enough, talking about Kerzhakov, got himself in the position again. It's just not quite happening for him. Shirakov's been caught here by Katsaranis. Referee didn't like that. Shrill blast on the whistle. Free kick will go Russia's way.
Do you know, I'm looking for the replay here of that penalty kick shout.
We'll get it now.
And I'm sure we'll see it any moment now. Yeah, he dragged his arm. He's pulling his arm back. I would suggest that was a penalty kick.
Yeah, just seeing the Kerzhakov miscue again. Russia waiting to take this free kick. Dick Advocat was certainly off his seat appealing for the penalty. There's been a couple of shouts, and Pat's called them absolutely spot on. First one, no way. Second one, possible.
Yeah. I mean, a soft one. A soft one, I'll grant you that. But there was a little drag in the arm, a little pull in the arm.
Greece 0, Russia 0. We are sort of keeping our eyes on another TV screen, which is in the commentary booth next to us, which has the other game. Czech Republic, Poland, remains 0-0.
Do you know what the usual giveaway is, how you can usually call them quite early if you're an ex-pro?
The penalties.
Yeah, the penalties. It's nothing got to do with actually seeing them. It's the movement of the player.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's nothing else. If he goes down in a certain way, he's looking for it, and there's a certain other way in which, no, you wouldn't do that naturally.
Oh, nice build-up from Russia here. Glushakov with the right foot shots just wide of the left-hand post. Again, it was classic Russia. Quick fire passing from Arshavin, little layoff from Zhagoev, and Glushakov. I think actually the shot's taken a touch because it's a corner.
I'll give him his due. He's allowed to shoot from there. He's only about 15 yards out, Glushakov. And as you say, I don't think it was going on target anyway, but it did take the slightest of little nicks off the defender. So once again, in this case, it's Zhirkov is going all the way to the far side to take with his left foot. He doesn't usually bend them, he usually zips them. He's taking a shot
short, to Zhagoev, who lays it back to Zhirkov, who's trying to set up the shooting opportunity. Hits one just over the bar. Great strike from Zhirkov. I made the point before the game that he's yet to score for his country. That was a decent effort.
Do you know what? It's really obsessed me, Yuri Zhirkov, because I think he's one of the best players in his position on the planet. I really do. And it's not that he's lazy, it's just that you think, well, wait now, when you push forward, you're as good as anyone. Absolutely as anyone. Maybe not Ashley Cole, which is a bit of a shame from why he never got a game at Chelsea. But everywhere he is in the field, if you put him on the right-hand side, the left-hand side, his pace is extraordinary. He's, correctly as you said, he's got a good shot on him as well. But he's got good skill as well. And I just don't know why he doesn't do it all the time. Every time you get the ball, get up there.
5 minutes to half-time. Pat Nevin with us on 5 Live Sports Extra. Greece 0, Russia 0. If Greece don't win this game, they are definitely out. Russia can get through even with a defeat this evening, but they know a win will win them the group. Coming out of defence here is Ignashevich, who plays the ball across midfield to Zhagoev, who's come deep. Anyakov from right back. Low ball, powered into the area. Cleared by Maniatis. Samaras picks it up, doesn't have too many options. That's a better bit of skill because he's beaten two men there. First Denisov, then Anyakov. He's got it on his own. Gekas is making strides towards the penalty area. Samaras still going, enjoying himself. Curls the cross in, dangerously headed away by Ignashevich, and the ball will go out for a Greece throw just short of the corner flag on the right hand side.
Talking of players who, when they fancy it, can be very, very good. No more so than Judge Samaras. And again, his play was superb there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good pace, up, holds the ball up, takes two players on, puts a brilliant cross in. Absolutely fine. He's got that in his kit. When he wants to use it, he can use it.
Still goalless in both of these games here in Group A. Samaras winning his 57th cap for his country tonight. As Pat was saying, at club level as well, not the most prolific, only has 7 goals, but if he gets one tonight and puts Greece into the last 8, cross floated in here, and Malafeev's got to catch it. It wasn't too hard on his own line, but it was going in if he dropped it. He slung the ball out quickly to Zhagoev. Zhagoev crosses the halfway line and then misplaces the pass. Shirokov couldn't get it. Oh, and Greece, poor passing from them in midfield. Maniatis just stabs the ball straight out of play. Russian throw midway inside the Greek half.
It was a poor pass there by Zhagoev. A bit of a misunderstanding between the forward players. We didn't see that in the first game. But the pace they're breaking with, not anywhere close to what they were doing earlier on in the tournament for me. It's
something, Pat, actually. I remember we were chatting about this in the first game, and when we get a break in play, we've got one now. Karagounis has gone down. Greece have got themselves a free kick, definite foul on him. Their fitness is an issue. They've had this extended season back home because they're trying to get on a par with the European leagues all around the country. So I think they've played a 44-game season. And many of the Russian commentators have said, well, wait a minute, the team's not fit enough, they should work harder. Well, wait a minute, they're exhausted as it is. Yeah.
So it's like catch-22 of them found themselves in. Greece
come forward with Samaras, who does look up for it tonight, because that was a lovely first touch with a man behind him and he just laid it off. But Greece coming back now with I knew I was going to mess it up eventually. Papastathopoulos. Who,
I've not actually mentioned
no,
his
I know.
Name, and I have no intention of mentioning Papastathopoulos at any... Oh, damn.
2 minutes to half-time. Greece 0, Russia 0. Big noise again, goes ringing round this national stadium in Warsaw, and as Pat was quite rightly pointing out, lots and lots of Polish people in here, Polish fans, who will have their ears across. In fact, I'm sure if Poland score and go ahead, I think we might know about it.
Yeah, we might just about guess that one. Interesting to see if they'll put it up in the big screens in front of us here. I'm sure they will at half-time.
Yeah, I'm sure they will at half-time. Shirokov for Russia. Draw's good enough, by the way, for Russia. Whatever happens, a draw will take them into the last 8, but not necessarily as group winners. It could do. As I say, we've got all the permutations in front of us. We'll keep talking you through them here on 5 Live Sports Extra as we go.
I suppose that's why there's no big panic up yet, because the Greeks might just keep it like this and think, well, until the last 10 minutes we'll have a very good go at it.
Arshavin, edge of the area, little pass into Zhagoev. Zhagoev, the ball comes back here. Shirokov with the drive, it's blocked. Ball spins away to the right-hand side. Anyakov, his cross is deflected. Maniatis puts a foot on it, clears for Greece. Samaras brings it down on the left-hand side. Again, a good touch, and almost an absolutely superb ball to Gekas. But Ignashevich was alert to it and wins possession back for Russia.
We don't often talk about it, the fact that Ignashevich and Berezutski don't lose many goals, do they? You know, they have not always lauded a great deal, but I think the Russians have got a really good record, you know, of not losing that many goals in their most recent campaigns.
Denisov, cheeky little chip over the foot of Samaras, keeps going up to the corner of the area. Arshavin in support on the right-hand side. Anyakov to Arshavin. Arshavin sees a run from Zhagoev. Zhagoev right down by the byline. 3 Greek defenders for company. And he's won the corner. 2 minutes of added time to be played at the end of the first half. Still Greece 0, Russia 0. Still Poland 0, Czech Republic 0. As it stands, Russia are going to win the group, and the Czech Republic will go through with them.
And it's a classic one that I always say. It would be a great time to score a goal and a terrible time to lose one for the Greeks.
See what Russia can do. Arshavin rolls it along the byline to Glushakov. Back to Arshavin. Tries to throw a little body swerve to get past the defender. Gekas got a touch on the ball, it's gone behind for another corner.
They have defended really well, haven't they, the Greeks? You've got to give them that, because certainly in the first couple of games they were too easy to get by, and certainly in the first game that the Greeks played in this tournament, they were absolutely dreadful.
Denisov picks up the short corner from Arshavin, then scoops across up to the back post. It bounces once. Shirokov tries the left foot volley from a crazy angle, really slices it badly, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's actually very, very poor indeed, because even Marco van Basten wouldn't have taken that one on. The angle was all wrong. Too many players in front of him. A little look ball back into the box would have caused all sorts of problems.
The Soviet Union with the team on the end of that goal, by the way, Pat, in the final in 1988. That was Van Basten scored that goal against what was then the Soviet Union. So maybe he was trying to get one back.
He's suffering from it.
Yeah. Long clearance downfield by Sifakis. The header is won by Russia. Ball drops on the halfway line. Zhirkov has to scamper away to the left-hand side. Got a foot on the ball, couldn't keep it in. Bit disappointed from him. And it's out for a throw into Greece. We've got about 30 seconds to go towards the end of the first half here. Greece 0, Russia 0. Suits Russia fine. At the moment, they're still going to win the group. And suddenly, Karagounis is in here behind the Russian defence. Right foot shot and in! Greece lead Russia in Warsaw as it stands. Greece are going to qualify. Russia possibly not. It has come out of nowhere. And Karagounis, what a moment for him. His 120th cap. He took an advantage. He drove the shot in low. Greece 1, Russia 0. That has put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Do you know what? If you're watching this game or listening to this game, what you really want, you're absolutely desperate to happen is for Greece to score, since it opens up the game. You've seen two teams attacking. And Karagounis, the man who scored the goal, you know, he's got that chance here because so many players were out of possession. And the player who was serious about possession more than anybody else is Yuri Zhirkov.
Now then, Russia are in danger here. If Russia lose this game tonight and Poland win, or the Czech Republic win in that other game, if there is a positive result, Russia will go out at the group stage. Greece will finish ahead of them on the head-to-head record. If they lose tonight, Russia, they are not necessarily out, but they are at far more risk now. There was barely time to kick off again there. That goal came right at the end of added time, at the end of the first half, and as Pat Nevin says, from the neutral's point of view, it is absolutely perfect for us. Greece lead Russia by 1-0, Pat.
And I am already looking forward to the second half. No doubt whatsoever the Greeks will come out in defence. I have no doubt about that at all. And the Russians will attack from the first moment. Expect chances, expect madness.
Georgios Karagounis, I said it right at the start, special night for him, his 120th cap. He is receiving huge congratulations from his teammates as he disappears down the tunnel. The job is only half done. As it stands at the moment, Greece are going through at half-time in Warsaw. They lead Russia by 1-0. It's a little bit quieter inside the stadium at the moment because I think a lot of fans are still coming back from the half-time snack. We're underway, played a minute in the second half. Greece leading by 1-0. The Euro 2004 champions are at it again. Can they hang on? Precisely what they did 8 years ago to go all the way to the title. Russia will certainly test them. Pavlyuchenko is on up front. I'll give you the lineups in just a second when we get the break in play. Greece already defending deep, have cleared the ball from the edge of their box. Ignashevich, who will be kicking himself for the mistake he made right at the end of the first half. Again, we were looking at it. It was a Greek throw launched down the line, which bizarrely he sort of headed infield.
I think he's trying to be too clever. I think there was nothing more than that. Tried to be too clever. I noticed that Berezovsky and Ignacevic love to play the ball between themselves a lot, even under pressure. On that occasion, took one chance too many. On this occasion, the ball just come up straight into the stand.
Greece are in the white shirts with the blue trim, playing towards their fans. Absolutely delirious at the moment inside the National Stadium here in Warsaw. They're attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Nice contrast actually between the team in the away kit and the majority of their fans who are actually in the blue kit, and they're really easy to spot inside this stadium. They've just got a little sort of section diagonally away from us behind the goal. On the left-hand side. Cross into the penalty area, and trying to turn here is Gekas, and he very nearly managed it as well to tee himself up for the shot. Then Russia will go with a long ball towards Pavlyuchenko. Headed away, Maniatis gets it back to his goalkeeper Sifakis. Sifakis under pressure from Shirokov, clears with his right foot. Greece 1, Russia 0. Czech Republic 0, Poland 0. It remains in Wrocław. Thousands of Polish fans, of course, inside this stadium, desperate to know what is going on. If Poland could score, that would put them in a fantastic position, and Russia would be in real trouble.
Do you know, it's 47 minutes, nearly 48 minutes gone now. How long before we see the first piece of time wasting? It'll be interesting to see.
Zhagoev, 35 yards out, into Pavlyuchenko. Little layoff to Shirokov. Shirokov back to Denisov, right in the middle of the Greek half. Slide pass into Shirokov, couldn't quite control it. He's frustrated and doesn't bother to chase back. Samaras up to the halfway line, who manages to get past two men here, and then Anyakov makes the challenge on him, but Greece are going to be dangerous here. Gekas into Samaras. He's on the corner of the Russian penalty area, decides not to turn. He's going to lay the ball back to the goal scorer Karagounis, thinking about another shot here. Dummies it with his right foot. Not quite sure why he didn't hit that there. Samaras on the left-hand side. Slide challenge on him. Samaras goes down in a heap. The referee was very close to it. Samaras has stayed down. I think Greece will knock the ball out of play. They lead by a goal to nil. Just why Samaras is down.
I think Anyakov really... I think that's a dangerous tackle that Anyakov put in there. Certainly caught Samaras on the toe. He will survive, but didn't get any of the ball. Certainly got a bit of Samaras. I think he should have had a free kick there, Samaras.
Thumping the floor in pain. Let's give you these two teams, starting with Greece. They lead by a goal to nil. Safakis in goal. Torosidis at right back. Papastathopoulos is at centre back alongside Papadopoulos. Savelas into the side at left back tonight. Midfield three, Katsouranis, Maniatis and Karagounis, who scored this crucial goal on his 120th cap tonight. Salpingidis on the right. Samaras, who's picked himself up but is moving awkwardly at the moment on the left-hand side, with Gekas through the middle. Russia, as we've already said, have got Pavlyuchenko on up front. Kurzhakov taken off at half-time. I'll give you their team in a second. Zhirkov making ground down the left-hand side. Arshavin tries to poke a little ball in here to Glushakov. He didn't find him. Here's Samaras. Seems okay now that Greece are in possession. Surprise, surprise. He's going to try and get past Anyakov, who put a naughty challenge in on him. He's managed to do it, and he's still going, Samaras, and he's running quite freely. Long way out, drives the shot and drags it wide. Goal kick for Russia. He's
a big unit, Samaras. He's about 6'4". He's also very, very fast. And sometimes the worst thing you can do is get that boy angry. And when he's angry, he's a much, much better player. He's a little bit miffed at the moment. He feels as if the player he's playing against, Anyakov, he's got away with a couple of heavy hits on him, so he's got him angry, and he's certainly up for it at the moment, Samaras. I'm really surprised at the moment. The Russians haven't picked up the pace, have they?
Yeah.
They've just played it their normal way, slow but sure passing, expecting it eventually to come their way.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's certainly an approach that could cost them. At the moment, they're still going to win this group as things stand. Greece lead Russia by the goal to nil, almost with the last kick of the first half. Anyakov in on the right-hand side, crosses deep to the back post. Arshavin layoff. Shirakov with a left foot shot just too high. Hit it well, but over the bar.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to go for a little bit of power there, but I think most pros know in that situation, you get on target first. That's all you consider. You get that one on target. There's players running towards him. It can take any sort of deflection if it's towards the target. He's had a lash at it, and it's gone, it's 15 feet over the crossbar. Not good enough.
5 Live Sports Extra. Greece 1, Russia 0. The Russian lineup: Malafeyev in goal. Back four of Anyakov, Berezutsky, Ignashevich, who made the mistake for the Karagounis goal. Zhirkov, Denisov, Shirakov and Glushakov, the midfield three. Arshavin on the left flank, Zhagoev on the right flank, with 3 goals in the tournament so far. Russia could do with him getting another one. Pavlyuchenko has come on up front for Kurzhakov. Just to make it absolutely clear as well, if Russia get a draw tonight, so if they can peg this back to 1-1, say, they are definitely through. Not necessarily as group winners, but they would definitely be through. And at the moment, they're still going through as well. We'll keep you right across that as the evening continues. Greece 1, Russia 0. Following us, by the way, on 5 Live Sports Extra tonight, we have US Open Golf from San Francisco. Coverage begins at 10 o'clock. Tiger Woods right in the mix. One of the joint leaders on an extremely tough golf course at 1 under par, going out with Jim Furyk. His tee-off time is 11:05. Former US Open champion Graham McDowell is just 2 shots back. He tees off at 10:45. It'll be well worth a listen, and it will go late into the night. But we've got lots of drama to come here in Warsaw first. The ball is volleyed heftily, shall we say, into the stands, and the ball is out for a Russian throw. They take it quickly. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I know, and it really just hasn't started in this second half. I expected the Russians to come out not exactly all guns blazing, but with a crispness, a sharpness about them. I mean, a good use of pace, and plenty of players trying to get up forward. It's just not really happening. They're just kind of dawdling a little bit, playing about at a kind of normal pace as if they've nothing to worry about. Well, you have got something to worry about. You get out of the Euros if anyone else scores a goal in the other game, so you better pick up the pace a bit, I would suggest.
Shirakov floats the pass out to the right-hand side to Anyakov, who brings the ball down on his right instep with the socks rolled down. Arshavin over in support on the right here. Lays it back to the holding midfielder Denisov in the blue and white boots. All the players have got these sort of coloured heels to their boots. That seems to be the fad at the tournament. Pavlyuchenko, that is wild and an awful left foot strike from 30 yards out, sliced appallingly and behind for a goal kick. Greece 1, Russia 0.
Yeah, it's really strange that. It's a kind of oddness really to see that people like Pavlyuchenko aren't really pushing it forward. He's got a kind of almost shrugged shoulders on as well. We sometimes get that from Andrei Arshavin, that's the kind of deal, and he's not having a good day today, Andrei Arshavin.
No.
He really isn't having a good day. All those little passes that he usually makes that are going well are just not happening at all. He's a yard off, as he was the other night against Poland.
We're in the National Stadium in Warsaw. It's 5 Live Sports Extra. It's Greece 1, Russia 0. Tomorrow night on Sports Extra, we've got Germany against Denmark in Group B. 5 Live will have commentary of Holland against Portugal. Germany obviously in an extremely strong position in that group. Denisov into Pavlyuchenko. Little layoff. Can't find Glushakov. Ball cleared to the halfway line, and of course winners and runners up in this group, Group A we're watching tonight, will play winners, runners up in Group B, which is the group I was just talking about. Denisov through to Glushakov. Glushakov on the turn for Russia. Nice pass. Pavlyuchenko getting it back here to Zhagoev. Zhagoev, edge of the area, Pavlyuchenko, his shot's blocked, lots of Greek white shirts in the way, and eventually they do scramble it away.
It's a wall, isn't it? It's a veritable citadel they're putting up there. It's going to be very hard to get through that D tonight. It may well be the Russians have to change their game plan, go wide, and they are now. Found
space here with Zhirkov, and then Zhirkov runs straight into the challenge of Papadopoulos. Salpingidis very deep in defence there. Greece inside their own half have possession. Gekas facing his own goal. Challenge comes in up towards Samaras on the centre circle. Him and Anyukov having a right old battle. I think Samaras got the better of that one. That free kick is no. He can't believe it, and I agree with him. The free kick's gone to Russia. I don't know how Anyukov's got that.
I think the referee bottled that one there, to be fair, because if it goes the other way, he's got to book Anyukov. He's got to book him, because he's away. I mean, you'd almost argue to send them off. I think that would be a bit harsh.
Samaras had the comically theatric hand to the forehead, turn round, oh woe is me reaction, but he was right. Glushakov, Russia trailing here by 1-0. You need a bit more snap about them, a bit more urgency. Arshavin, as Pat's saying, having an Arsenal night of last season rather than a Russia night of Euro 2008 or indeed this tournament. Might get on the ball here again. He's inside the Greek half. Exactly as Pat predicted, it's going to be a white wall of defence throughout this second half in Warsaw. Glushakov now coming forward to try and break this down. Arshavin's tackled by Samaras. Denisov picks it up. 25 yards out. Good shot from Denisov, just wide.
Unlucky. Really good hit there. His left foot there going across the goalkeeper, and just by the way the goalkeeper was scrambling, you know that it's got to have been fairly close. But in the end, it's kind of what the Greeks want. You're saying, if you're going to have a shot, have it for 30 yards out. And we trust in our goalkeeper will probably get to the vast majority of them. It's going to be something special to beat us from 30 yards out.
Commentary on Poland, Czech Republic over on 5 Live. I can only imagine the sort of reaction the goal here got there. Poland obviously knowing, as are the Czechs as well, but knowing that a goal for them, winning that game, would be extremely good news. Take them through, possibly knock Russia out. Here come Russia again, under a little bit of pressure at the moment. As things stand, though, they're still going through as group winners. Not the way they'd want to do it, I don't think. Here's Arshavin trying to get past Katsaranis up to the edge of the box. Arshavin caught Torosidis, the right back there. There's 2 Greek players down here actually, and players continuing. They're both picking themselves up. Russia continue to come forward. Russia in the red shirts with gold trim playing.
And there's 8 in the middle of the D there. 7 or 8 players in the middle of the D there defending for the Greek side. They're going to be very hard to get through the middle of them just now, but the Russians seem to be keeping on trying doing it.
Yeah, said at the start of the night, didn't we, Pat, that Russia have all the firepower. If Greece were going to win this game, it's exactly the blueprint you'd imagine they do it by. Get the goal and cling on.
Absolutely. It's a nightmare that certainly Dick Advocat was having last night before he went to bed, but then again it's the Greek dream what they wanted as well.
Long ball through towards Gekas, who's trying to chest it down, does so. Gets control of the ball and rolls it out to Salpingidis on the right-hand side. What if Greece get a second? Salpingidis laying it back to Torosidis, going to try and go past Glushakov. Lazy challenge from Zhirkov. Always in, Torosidis still going, angles tight, crosses in, the ball spins up in the air behind for a corner. Gekas was there.
I think Anyukov gets in there. I'll tell you what, he has had one hell of an important 5 or 10 minutes. Anyukov, he's marking Samaras just now. He's the most dangerous player. Zhirkov had a stinker there, but in the end, Anyukov, he probably doesn't know himself how he got that ball away, but he got it away. Russia
are not helping themselves this evening, and it's sometimes as you expect them. There is genius there is brilliance, and sometimes I'm sure if you're a Russian fan, just frustrating sloppiness at times, and tiredness as well. Ball into the near post, is headed away, and behind for another corner. Because
it's interesting, we're looking at just now, we're 59 minutes gone, and the Russians haven't picked up the pace yet. Do you suspect they will, if it stays 1-0, pick up the pace with 5 minutes to go? Why not do it now?
Absolutely.
Why not do it now? And it really surprises me. I suppose part of it is because they're expecting their main man Arshavin to do it, and he's not playing well.
Corner swung in again. Oh, and Salpingidis almost got his head on it at the far post. It was flicked on by Gekas. I don't think Salpingidis knew too much about it. The ball just flashed past his forehead. If it had hit him in the head, probably would have ended up in the back of the net. Greece 1, Russia 0, Poland 0, Czech Republic 0. At the moment, as Russia and Greece are going through from this group, but Russia are trailing. Their qualification is at risk. Here's Zhargoev trying to lay it through to Glushakov. Zhargoev goes down on the edge of the area.
He's just run out a mass of players again, though.
Samaras's shorts were tugged there by Anyukov. He's got to get booked this time. Surely he was pulling away from him.
I cannot believe the referee's not got his yellow card out, but he's allowed to play to go on. He may well go back and book him shortly.
Possibly. Here's Samaras again, enjoying this battle, because Anyukov comes flying in again as Samaras played the ball away. Salpingidis has it on the right-hand side, and Greece are looking for the second here. I don't think they'll be too adventurous about it, but if a chance presents itself... Great run! Karagounis must be a penalty! Ignashevich brought him down in the box, and the yellow card is going to Karagounis. He's being booked for diving. He cannot believe it. I'm convinced that his legs were taken away from him. Karagounis is running to the sidelines here and wagging his fingers and saying, I can't, and he's talking to his bench, but it's not them you need to be speaking to. I think he's talking to the fourth official as well. He was through. It must have been a penalty.
The defender, Ignashevich, tries to get his foot away. Do you know what? There is contact with the foot on the Russian shin. I'm wondering whether the foot is actually deliberately kicked out. Do you remember many years ago, Robert Pires used to do a little bit of that? As he goes by the player, he kicks the defender. If he's done that, it's very clever, very sneaky, and the referee's right. But I'm not sure he did. I think there might have just been quite simply contact and a penalty kick.
Huge talking point. Shirokov flicking the ball into the Greek penalty area, and it comes through to Sifakis, the keeper. There was a penalty, Pat. There was a penalty earlier this season. I'm trying to remember. It was Ashley Young for Manchester United, went into the penalty area, and he took criticism for letting his leg make contact with the defender's leg. He got the penalty.
Yeah, and it's kind of it can be a wee bit of a grey area, you know, if the defender's leg's in the way. But if you put your foot out at an angle where it's not necessarily an angle we'd normally put your foot in to get the penalty, then the referee's right to book you for cheating, really. But it's a really, really tough one, that one. I'll tell you what, it's a hard one to call. And you know what? You get 10 professional footballers, 5 of them argue for, and 5 will argue against. Love to know what the referees think.
It's why we love the debate. It's why we love doing the commentary. Greece 1, Russia 0. 5 live sports extra. Should Greece have had a penalty? Huge talking point here. Saying that, no guarantee it would have gone in. Karagounis, of course, missed the penalty in the first game against Poland. In their last warm-up game against Armenia, Katsaranis and Samaras both missed one in the same game. So,
by the way, there's two players down. No prizes at all for guessing which two. Anyukov once again on Samaras. Incredible. They are having one hell of a battle. Samaras puts his hand down. They're shaking hands. It was a very short one.
Right, Berezitsky, centre-backs, thinking about a drive from 30 yards. Thought better of it. Lays it off to Arshavin. So many white shirts in his way in the penalty area. Ball is headed away to Denisov. Denisov to Zhargoev. Lovely turn from Zhargoev. Gets the ball to Pavlyuchenko. Curls across into the back post. No one there. and the ball drifts behind tamely for a goal kick. Greece 1, Russia 0. We played 18 minutes in the second half. As things stand, with Poland 0, Czech Republic 0, Russia are going to win this group even though they're losing tonight, and Greece will go through in second place. Holebas, the left back who started the first 2 games and was taken out of the side tonight, is coming on, and Gekas, the centre forward, is coming off. So what do we make of that then, Pat Nevin?
Well, I did suggest at half time that may well see as the game goes on more and more defenders appearing for Greece. That's the first one. Do you know what? It's probably not going to be the last either. A little change in the way the system goes just now, and it may well be the Holebas tried to go a little bit further forward, but trust me, he'll want to defend as well.
The other point that's really important to make about the Karagounis yellow card for diving, he misses the next game. If Greece do go through, he picked one up in an earlier game, he's got 2 yellow cards. So I think the reaction was, should have had a penalty, and probably horror as well, that not only that, I'm now going to miss the next game, you punish me doubly. The Greeks have had some really controversial decisions go against them in this tournament.
Basically, full stop, that country's not had much luck in the last 5 years or so.
That's a fair point. That's a very fair
Anywhere.
point. Right, Greece have a free kick. Left-hand side, about 8 yards short of the box, in from the touchline. Curled in by Holebas there. And Russia will come and look dangerous here on the break. Denisov was trying to get through the middle away from Karagounis. Now he's got to be a little bit careful with the challenges. Both of them go down. Referee was close, said no free kick. He does not want to get himself sent off.
And once again, you and I watched the first game when the Russians played. When they broke in those sort of areas, they made good use of it. They passed it well, they ran into space, there was good intelligence about it. Tonight it's just not happened, and that was a great opportunity to pass and play well. Nope, lost possession again.
The multi-ball system almost went wrong there, because 2 Russian players came to take a throw and they both had a ball and were both about to release it at the same time. Another change coming up for Greece.
Let me guess, it's not going to be a centre forward that's coming on.
Defensive midfielder Grigoris Makos, who's going to make his first appearance of Euro 2012. At the moment, Russia are winning this group. They are trailing tonight. So to be absolutely sure of going through, they need to draw this game at least. If they win it, they definitely win the group. What have they got in the locker? Arshavin, little ball into Zhirkov here, back to goal in the penalty area, trying to turn away, lays the ball back. Zhagoev was waiting, it didn't quite find him.
That's what they've got to do. That's exactly what the Russians have got to do. They keep on trying to play the same play through the centre of the defence of the Greeks. The Greeks are strong there. They've actually got sitting midfielders there. They're just about to get another sitting midfielder there. There is no point whatsoever in going through the centre there. Get wide, get it down the sides, make them defend from those sorts of areas, and then that's difficult for them. At the moment, some great time wasting going on.
Well, Karagounis is being taken off here. Now, lots of things with this. He's on the yellow card, and he just committed the foul in the centre circle as well. He's got to be careful. He is going to get a standing ovation. He's winning his 120th cap tonight. He's become the equal record holder of most caps won for Greece. And, of course, he scored the goal just before half-time that has them leading by 1-0, and was involved in the major talking point in the second half. Should he have had a penalty when he ran through? And there was contact, let's put it like that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt there is contact. It's a really tough one. There either one or two things had to happen there. There had to be a penalty kick, or there had to be a yellow card. There really was only one or two things. You couldn't play on there, you couldn't give a free kick. The referee's seen it one way, and that's why he's gone for it. He felt that Karagounis was deliberately playing for it. And you know what? If he was right, well done, referee.
Denisov with a really poor shot, got lucky because the ball was deflected back to him. Now on the turn, Pavlyuchenko trying to get away, and the ball is knocked away from Arshavin, and it's behind for a Russian corner. Midway through the second half already, Russia are still trailing, puts their qualification at risk, because if Poland or the Czech Republic, either team, win that other game in Wrocław tonight, if Russia lose here, they're out. Arshavin into the near post. Samaras with a flick on. He's defending. He's actually headed it straight behind.
He wasn't going to take any chances there. No. He knew the goalkeeper was behind him, but he didn't want to take a chance. Again, a little bit lively from Rushav in the last few minutes. That's heartening for the Russians.
Denisov, left-hand side, lays the ball back to Anyakov, who's been plenty involved. Now he's trying a long-range shot off balance for a right-back from 40 yards and has smashed it well wide. I'm surprised Dick Advocaat is not out there and saying...
Well, that's very poor. That's extremely poor. You've got every single player up, really... I'll tell you what,
looking at the penalty
we're just seeing the penalty, and again, we're seeing it in slow motion. I can't honestly tell you if that was deliberate by Karagounis, whether he deliberately kicked his leg towards the defending player or whether he was actually caught as he tried to jump over him. It's a tough one to call. Do you know what? I would say 8 times out of 10 you get a penalty there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
8 times out of 10 you will.
Now trying to get through here is Salpingidis, brought down by Zhirkov. He was running away from Zhirkov there, admittedly not straight at the goal. I think this is only going to be a yellow card. Salpingidis is appealing for a red. The referee's telling him to button it, and Zhirkov gets booked.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Zhirkov, well, I can't argue with it, and he isn't arguing with it, so give him his due. There's problems that the Russians have got now, a real willingness to break with a little bit of pace from the Greeks just now, and that was fairly cynical for my mind from Yuri Zhirkov, and it's a dangerous area.
Yeah, Greece lead Russia by the goal to 0. In terms of the penalty decision, let's not forget there's an additional assistant referee standing behind the byline 12 yards away, looking straight at it from one angle. Linesman who's got a view, okay, a little bit further away from the side, and the referee who's following play as well. I wonder if there was discussion between the three. I don't know. Well,
we don't know here, but more often than not in those situations I think the referee's often deafened by silence. They look up and say, well, you call it, mate.
Yes,
it's often the case.
Free kick for Greece then. They lead Russia by the goal to 0. Now from their point of view, it is only a win that takes Greece through, and it definitely does that. So a second goal is absolutely essential for them, really, to try and give themselves the cushion and then let Russia worry about everything else. Savalas, oh, he's hit the bar. Wonderful strike from Savalas, the left back, curling left foot free kick. Malafeyev was left stood stock still, and it's come crashing back off the woodwork.
There's another yellow card.
There's another yellow card.
For a moment I think it's Zhagoev.
Zhagoev's been
booked.
For a
moment I thought it was Zhirkov.
Now I tell you what that means. Zhagoev misses the next game for Russia if they make it. The Czech Republic now lead in Wrocław. The Czech Republic lead Poland by a goal to 0. It means, as things stand, with Greece winning here by a goal to 0, Russia are going out, as are the host Poland. At the moment, as things stand, Czech Republic top the group, and Greece will go through on 4 points, level with Russia, but with the better head-to-head.
Could you have seen that coming?
Absolutely.
After the first game?
Not.
After the first 2 games, the first round of games, you could not see that coming a million years.
Free kick for Greece after the Zhagoev foul is whipped into the penalty area, nodded down by Samaras and wide, and it was a chance, and it's behind for a goal kick. So let's just try and get you across absolutely everything that is happening. Russia now need to score to get themselves back into a qualification position. Greece need to win this game, and it's the only way that they can qualify. The Czech Republic lead Poland by a goal to 0 in Wrocław. As it stands, they are winning this group. If Russia do go through, one of their star players so far, equal top scorer in the tournament, Alan Zhagoev, will miss the quarter-final for picking up his second yellow card in the group stages. Russia are making a change here. Pogrebniak is coming on to replace Glushikov. They absolutely have to do that. Let's get details on the Czech Republic goal in Wrocław from Phil Y.
Polish hearts broken at the moment, Alistair. Petr Juracek put Czech Republic ahead in the 72nd minute. Cut in, left-hand side of the penalty area, switched to his right foot, a low strike. Titoni had no chance of saving it, and it's the Czech Republic now who top the group with Greece second, and it's all gone quiet here in Wrocław. Czech Republic 1, Poland the hosts 0.
Yeah, Phil agrees with my math. Czech Republic going through as group winners. We need urgency from Russia now. Russian fans need to see some urgency from their team. Into the last 20 minutes of the game, so much attacking talent in this team. So far it has floundered on a wall of white. Denisov's going to go from range. It was a good strike. It was blocked. It might spin to Arshavin. Torosidis gives it an almighty thump high into the night sky, and Arshavin wants the corner, but it didn't actually go behind, so it's a throw.
It strikes slightly of panic, doesn't it? The way they're shooting from 30 odd yards.
Yeah, it does.
They've run out of ideas at the moment, the Russians, and to be fair, I'm really disappointed they've run out of ideas, because they have not asked enough questions yet of this Greek team.
Denisov across to Arshavin. Arshavin trying to slide the pass in. Zhirkov has thrown himself down.
He could get a booking for that
to
be off.
Oh, he should be. He should be booked. That's a really good point, Pat, because he's done exactly what Karagounis did, and he got himself booked for that. He's already in the book. That should be a yellow and then a red.
There was no. I'd have yelled at him. I agree.
Yeah.
I would have yelled at him for that. There was a little touch of an arm, but he's thrown himself down as if he's been poleaxed That's very, very poor from Jerkoff for me.
There's been some big decisions to make tonight for the referee.
And they've not been easy either.
No, they haven't.
They've not been easy. A lot of them haven't been easy, but that one, I think he's got it wrong. And the penalty, I think the vast majority of people would suggest he's got it wrong.
Djagoev already knows he's going to miss the next game. Wants Russia to progress further in the tournament. Has scored 3 goals so far. As it stands, Russia, having won their opening game by 4 goals to 1,
look brilliant as well.
And everyone was purring about them. At the moment, they're going out at the group stages because they're trailing to Greece here in Warsaw on 5 Live Sports Extra. Pogrebniak, his first appearance of the tournament. We haven't really spoken about him, and the ball is behind for a Russian corner.
He got a very odd reaction when he came on, Pogrebniak. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure the Russian fans are big fans of him.
Well, if he scores, they will be. Djagoev wins another corner. He received it short from Arshavin, then tried to cross in down by the byline, and it was blocked. Samaras wants to waste time, so he's just kicking the ball behind the dead ball line. Yuri Zhirkov, possibly lucky still to be on this pitch, booked for 1 challenge, and then possibly should have been booked for throwing himself down in the penalty area. Greece 1, Russia 0. Arshavin floats the ball into the back post. Pavlyuchenko is up and wins a header. Greece get it away. Shot driven in by Denisov, blocked by Sifakis, and the ball spins up and he grabs it very, very quickly before Pogrebniak can follow in.
Best effort so far, I would suggest, of the second half from the Russians. Gets it on target, low. Having said that, the keeper doesn't stop that. You're asking big questions of the goalkeeper, but now they've got Pavlyuchenko on, now they've got Pogrebniak on as well. They've got to get the ball wide, like I've been suggesting for quite some time now, and get some dangerous crosses in. It's up to Arshavin, maybe it's up to Zhirkov as well, but there's not been enough for them. There's not been enough creativity, nowhere near enough yet in this game. They have to lift it if they're going to stay in these Euros.
They're a talented team, and they need to show a bit more of that talent with some application here. Anyakov has the ball for Russia. They're in the red shirts with gold trim. Thousands and thousands of their fans chewing their nails furiously inside this stadium. Not so many Greek fans, probably also chewing a few nails as well, but at the moment it's going their way. They're going to finish runners-up in this group. Greece 1, Russia 0, and the Czech Republic leading Poland in Wrocław by 1-0. Full commentary on that one is over on 5 Live. Denisov, nice turn from Arshavin up to the edge of the area. Little poke ball, looking for Denisov again. Shot in from Anyakov from the corner of the box, and any time a Russian player goes anywhere near the penalty area, just suddenly this vision of white comes charging at them, and they're throwing absolutely everything in the way.
Yeah, and you expect that, and you know you need to do something about it, and you're looking for the players that have got the skill and the vision and can do things in tight areas. Well, for the first time there, Arshavin did so, and a little bit of a half chance. I'd have expected Arshavin to be doing that constantly in this second half, and he just hasn't done it. That's his first time.
Going again from range is Denisov. The shot's actually blocked by Pavlyuchenko. It was such a weak strike that Pavlyuchenko thought, that's going wide, I'll control it and see what I can do.
Well, he's shooting from 35 yards out through about, say, certainly 6 defensive players, but 4 of his own players as well. It's going to take some shot to get through there when everyone is expecting it. Very, very poor. At the moment, I think the Russians are a disappointment and don't necessarily deserve to go through.
Greece 1, Russia 0. It's a real turn-up in Warsaw tonight. Russia and Poland, as things stand, are going out. Blow for the tournament, definitely, if Poland go. Their fans have been magnificent. And Russia, well, I think I agree with you, Pat. We watched them in the first game and we were absolutely waxing lyrical about them, but they were poor in the second half against Poland. And particularly, I think that the thing that really damns them tonight is that the start of the second half when they were 1-0 down and just still
they never pushed on. At that point in time, you come on and you decide, right, this is how the game's going to be played. We are going to decide what the tempo is, and we're going to change that, because the team that have just set up against you are going to sit back anyway. So okay, then you're going to sit back. Well, we'll push you there and we'll take complete control of the game. No, and it's the easiest time in the world to do it against a Greek team that are basically putting on defenders every 2 minutes, and they still won't do it. It's incredible.
Anyakov floats a long ball into the edge of the area. Greece are very good at defending. 2 defeats in just 23 games under Fernando Santos. They do not score many goals, but they really don't concede too many. Can they hold out? From our position here, because we're quite high in the National Stadium, it's like busy little worker ants in the white shirts scuttling around trying to close everything down. Arshavin pokes the ball into Pavlyuchenko on the turn. He's tackled. Greece managed to come away with the ball. Grigoris Makos, who's come on for Karagounis, who has a thick beard. He's played the ball up to Samaras, who I think was caught there as he came away down the left-hand side. Now the challenge is considered a fair one. And the throw-in also goes Russia's way, so Greece.
Someone feels this is getting a bit personal now.
Yeah, he does, isn't he?
He's actually going to get his complaint has worked, actually, unusually. And he's actually going to get it. So, yeah, a little chance there for a few more minutes to be wasted.
Greece 1, Russia 0. Quick update from Wrocław. Phil Y.
79 minutes played. Still, Czech Republic 1, Poland 0. And you know what, Ali? Since the break, the co-hosts have gone into their shell. It's the Czech Republic looking for a second goal. Poland are asking no questions at all this half. And at the moment, they're 10 minutes away, the co-hosts, from being knocked out of their own tournament by their gate-crashing neighbours.
Yeah, as are Russia as well. Just a little bit over 10 minutes left for them. 12 minutes plus added time for Russia, this wonderful attacking side who lit up Euro 2008 and made the semi-finals at that tournament before losing to Spain. Came here again with a lot of the same players, adding Zhargoev in particular to the lineup, who's been brilliant. But at the moment, they are going out. Pogrebniak's trying to get on the end of Zhirkov's ball, who's so advanced now down that left-hand side. And Greece have got it back, and they're playing forward with Katsaranis. Ball away to the right-hand side. Salpingidis is there. The left-back, Holobas, has made ground into the penalty area. Low cross comes in. Oh, my word. Holobas was close to that. Malafeyev had a swing with his right boot, completely missed it, and the ball's travelled away to the right-hand side.
But great breaking play, isn't it? I mean, you know, sometimes you start a game and your kind of heart says one team and your head says another team. And do you know, at the start of the game, you love the way that the Russians play. But at the end of the game, you're thinking, do you know what? The Greeks have played this brilliantly. They've worked hard. Their attitude's been absolutely superb. They've been up against it for the entirety of the tournament. Because the first two games have started terribly, but they've had one last chance, and they just look like a group. They think, do you know what? We can't believe we've got another chance. We've got to take this.
Yeah.
And you kind of begin to get more and more on their side, even though they're very defensive.
I think plenty of neutrals, non-Chelsea fans would say the same possibly about Chelsea against Barcelona, that initially, if you don't support Chelsea, you go with the team that's playing all the football, and then eventually the resilience and the spirit and the
there's a great
resistance.
There's a massive similarity in those two games.
Yeah,
we talk particularly maybe the Chelsea-Barcelona game, where Chelsea just defended, and Barcelona were the kind of stylish team that just couldn't get beyond them.
Right, Anyakov, the right back, is coming off for Russia. Marat Ismailov, who I think I know as a sort of winger type player, Ismailov.
Well, I've been complaining for quite a long time here. Get somebody up the wide areas and get some decent crosses in. They've needed that for a while. They'll have to go with three at the back now, so they're taking a chance. Russia
are 10 minutes away from going out here at Euro 2012. You're listening to it on 5 Live Sports Extra. Who knows what drama we'll get tomorrow night. Germany against Denmark is our commentary. 5 Live will have Holland against Portugal. Don't forget tonight from 10 o'clock after the football, US Open Golf. Full coverage throughout the night. Graham McDowell hot on the heels of the leaders there. One of those leaders is Tiger Woods. England back in Euro 2012 action on Tuesday. Play the Ukraine in their final group game, of course. Full commentary is on 5 Live. Ismailov trying to get on the end of something here, and into the penalty area he goes. Just blocked out by two defenders, but fairly, and the ball is behind for a Russian corner. Greece 1, Russia 0. Czech Republic lead Poland by a goal to 0. Czech Republic going through as group winners as it stands, having lost their first game 4-1, and Greece going through with them on the head-to-head win against Russia. Arshavin laying the ball across the box, sliding change. Pavlyuchenko gets under the shot and balloons it well over the bar.
Again, quite poor there. A little bit of space developed there. As usual, every single Greek defender was, well, in this case, was back behind the penalty spot. They were so deep there. But there's a little bit of a half chance for Pavlyuchenko to get it on target. But for me, it's a little bit too much panic there. And the Greeks, once again, another pair of fresh legs coming on, and another attack-minded player in Salpingidis coming off.
Oh yes, but Sotiris Ninnis is also
very similar.
Yes,
position-wise,
and I presume it's fresh legs, and if they get the ball, he can do some running. By the way, match the day tomorrow night after those games between Holland and Portugal, Germany, Denmark, 10:55 with Pat's big pal Colin Murray. Of course, they do the kicking off show on Friday night on BBC Radio 5 Live. We certainly didn't see this happening tonight, but it could still all change. A goal anywhere.
Yeah, a goal anywhere. I mean, if you're Russian or you're Greek, I know you're not going to relax if you're a Greek at the moment, but it just doesn't look like it, does it? It doesn't look like Greece are going to lose anything.
No.
We know what football's like, particularly this season of all seasons. It's been quite incredible. Late goals, how important they've been. in all the major tournaments.
Greece are staunch defenders. That is how they won this European Championship in 2004. That's how they've carried on playing under Santos. Arshavin's cross. There's the header just wide of the post. It was Jargoev yet again. That was inches away from 1-1. Time is running out. 7 minutes to go. Greece 1, Russia 0.
Do you know, everyone has to make sure that they concentrate for every moment of the game if you're a Greek defender. And at that point in Maniat has got a little bit of sleep. He just gave a half a yard to Arshavin there, and that was enough time to get the ball in, and it just about shaved the post from Jargoev.
What an incredible story we have on our hands on 5 Live Sports Extra this evening, and this tournament continues to fascinate and entertain. It's been brilliant so far this evening. Greece 1, Russia 0. The hosts at the moment, Poland, of course, going out as well. We'll continue to hear from Phil Y as the second half progresses there, but we really are into the closing stages. Karagounis is going to be the national hero for Greece, and quite rightly too, on his 120th cap to score that crucial goal, and remember, from a really poor Russian mistake. The only way Russia could go out of the tournament this evening was to lose. We didn't expect it. It could happen. Katsaranis is down. Arshavin's going to continue playing. I didn't see how Katsaranis picked up the injury. Greece have got the ball back. They're now going to put it out, and they're going to turn round and complain bitterly to Arshavin that he didn't do it himself.
No, I wouldn't do it. I think Arshavin did the right thing. Played on. He is right. The Greeks are, I'm afraid, wrong in this situation.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think they're wrong. I'm telling you now, the Greeks are wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the player who's down. Not a thing. He's basically trying to cheat the referee and con the referee into wasting time. We knew this would happen, and actually, to be fair to the Greeks, there's not been a lot of it so far in the game, but the referee shouldn't be conned by this, and he wasn't conned by it. He said play on. So the Greeks have got a complaint. They think they haven't. They're wrong.
The referee absolutely has to add all this time on at the end, because at the moment we're waiting for a stretcher to come on for Kostas Katsaranis, who's gone down. Seen the replay of the challenge. Pat's absolutely spot on. He is absolutely...
The madness of it, he's been stretchered off and he hasn't been touched.
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with him. I will to give you any odds you like on a bet that he will be back on that pitch in less than 1 minute.
He'll absolutely have to be, because they've already made their 3 changes. So that this is going to be so blatant and so obvious.
Ridiculous. So he's now been terribly injured, and he's been stretchered off, so surely he can't get back on.
He's fine, Pat. He's
That is
fine.
a shock.
Now that is shocking from Katsaranis. That's poor.
It's a disgrace.
Greece have been excellent tonight. They've done really, really well, and this will be a huge result for them. The last time they actually beat Russia, well, I think they were even the Soviet Union then, back in 1993. Doesn't often happen for Greece, and at the moment it's going to knock Russia out of Euro 2012 and take Greece through. But there's still time for Russia to do something about it. 4 minutes plus added time. There'll be a fair bit of that. Pavlyuchenko's tackled on the left-hand side. It was Pogrebniak, who was tackled.
Yes, what's hard, by the way, Pogrebniak, really impressed by him when he's come on. He's worked very hard indeed.
Goal kick. Jurkov was looking for the corner there, trying to get past his man. Goal kick, and Greece will obviously take plenty of time over the restarts. Just to remind you, Czech Republic lead Poland by a 1-0 in Wrocław. And by the way, Pat, having been there, the Czechs, I know the Poles will be well supported. They have thousands and thousands of fans there. There will be a big Czech party if they do indeed.
And they've done it without Rosicki tonight. This is astonishing.
Correct.
Because, I mean, I know I've watched the Czechs a great deal. I've got great knowledge of them. I watched them play against Scotland in the group that they played in. They're a very average side. And I've seen the goal that Juracek scored tonight. And he scores some unusual goals. But I'll tell you what, if ever a player deserves him, it's him, because he works his socks off.
Russia need to find a goal. They can't really rely on Poland to get back in that game. That would do them a big favour, but they need to find the goal. They're trailing here in Warsaw, trailing Greece by a 1-0. It will be a huge upset if Greece go through and Russia go out. They would go out on this head-to-head result. Berezutski, the centre-back, to Arshavin, who's sloppy with his first touch, gets away with it, spins away from his man, passes the ball just outside the area. Jargoev with a little flick round the corner, looking for Pogrebniak, who's up there with Pavlyuchenko now. 2.5 minutes of the 90 to play. Greece 1, Russia 0. And as we said in the first half as well, what a lift for Greece, the country as well, who've had such a rough time of it in recent times. It'll be absolutely huge result for their fans here, but for everyone back home as well.
Anyway, and well done for those players, because the work rate has been has been phenomenal all the way through this game. And also the game plan's been good. They've understood where the Russians want to play. It's been pretty obvious where the Russians want to play from day one. Against the Czechs in the first game, they were given the space to play in that sort of area. However, not the case tonight. The Greeks knew where the Russians wanted to play. Do you know what? The problem is the Russians haven't changed it.
No.
They haven't adapted. They've tried to do the same thing. They're not good enough to do that against 6 players all camped in that area around the D.
Arshavin is still walking here with the ball at his feet. Time is really running out on Russia. They trail Greece by a goal to nil. Russia, as it stands, going out of the tournament at the group stages. Got to find something late on. Now Pavlyuchenko's trying to lay it off. The ball comes back to Ismailov, the substitute, to Denisov. Those two play a 1-2. Almost every white shirt, apart from Samaras, behind the ball. Arshavin plays Zhirkov in behind. He's in the area. Lays it off here to Shirokov. Shirokov's tackled. Ball still not clear for Greece. Edge of the box is Zhargoev. Still going. Zhargoev with the shot. It's blocked and behind for a corner. Just looking for that tiny little avenue of space.
89 minutes and they're now beginning to play the way they should have been playing for the past 35 minutes, Russia. Getting Zhirkov up the line, getting Arshavin on the ball. It's taken too long for this to happen. Have they got a goal in there?
Ismailov lays the ball back to the edge of the area. Denisov floats across into the back post. Lots of players waiting. They got in each other's way. Shirokov was there and he banged the header down into the ground. It was a very, very easy save for Sifakis, and there was just a lack of communication.
You can feel a little bit of urgency now.
Bit late, Pat.
It's ridiculously late, and it just get a feeling that was always going to happen. You know, it's easy to give 2 or 3 minutes worth of extreme effort. Do you know what? If you're going to progress in a major tournament, it needs more than that. It needs a lot more than that. You've got to go and hurt yourself. For me, I don't think the Russians have hurt themselves enough in this game. But still, it only takes a goal.
They've only got 4 minutes because we're into added time, and that is all they've got. It's wasted talent at the moment so far, and that is what is most frustrating. Greece have been superb, take nothing away from them. Denisov with the drive, deflected, ball spins into the box, bounces awkwardly, Sifakis catches it, and then rather cheekily, I think it's Shirokov, sort of backs into the keeper to try and knock him over the line, and it's going to hold play up, because Shirokov's now involved in a...
He's not, he's actually just getting dragged back by 3 defenders from the Greek team who are deliberately killing time. Oh, they're good at this, and the referee's falling for a hook, line and sinker. That's another 30 seconds or so wasted.
Right, 3.5 minutes to go. Russia are heading out of Euro 2012, coming to the stadium tonight. I have to say, for one, I didn't give Greece a chance really of winning the game, and also
I have to say I did on 5 Live just before we were chatting on 5 Live. The last half an hour, particularly, that I saw of the Russians. Oh, wait a minute, a little
chance here for Greece, but Malafeev's out quickly to the edge of his box. Russia have 3 minutes to score a goal.
What I'd said is the last half an hour I did see the Russians playing against Poland. I thought they looked exhausted. I thought they looked out of it, and they didn't look hungry enough.
Arshavin releases Zhirkov on the left-hand side. Chance coming. Zhirkov crosses into the back post. Too far. Can they keep it in? Ismailov. No, the ball has drifted behind, and it's out for a goal kick.
I think you're right. That's what he's called, but I don't see how that's actually gone out. That's a very, very strange one, that. Very strange. Unless he's given a free kick, but I don't think he has.
No.
A very, very odd call there by the referee.
Possibly the additional assistant referee has called it from behind the line. So, 2.5 minutes remain.
He's actually given...
2.5 minutes remain for Russia to try and keep themselves in Euro 2012. They trail Greece by the goal to nil. Georgios Karagounis, the Greek hero, as things stand. Ball into the area. Pogrebniak's here, shoots. Great save by Sifakis at the near post. That could have been the moment. It's behind for a corner. Pat Nevin.
Absolutely superb play there by Pogrebniak. But however, he's been booked for taking the shot. He didn't hear the whistle. He'd been called offside, and he's been booked. Do you know what? If he doesn't take that shot, having not heard the whistle, he shouldn't be a professional footballer. What an idiotic yellow card. Didn't deserve that. However, what is underlined right now is Greece deserve to be ahead, and the Russians deserve nothing out of this game. There hasn't been nearly enough urgency all the way through the game, but they've given something in the last 3 or 4 minutes. But is it too late?
Incredible drama on 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra this evening. Greece 1, Russia 0. 90 seconds for Russia to try and save themselves, to try and find a goal. Here's Arshavin, the skipper. His cross into the area is blocked. Zhirkov, low ball into the near post, is blocked. Russia get a late corner. It has finished 1-0 to the Czech Republic. They are on 6 points. They top the group as as things stand and will do so, even if this finishes as a draw. Corner is swung into the area to the back post. It's too far from Arshavin. Can they keep this in, Russia? Berezutski, the centre-back, he does, and then he rather clumsily knocks the ball out of play. A flare is lit in the stands away to our right-hand side. Greece lead Russia by a goal to nil. Pat Nevin, Russia beat Czech Republic in front of our eyes 4-1 in the first game. I cannot quite believe how this is turning out this evening.
It's absolutely extraordinary, but I think the signs that were there, certainly for the Russians in the second half of the game against Poland. They didn't look eager enough. They looked exhausted. They looked far too tired. So looking forward to just now, if they can get through the Greeks, apart from the fact that their fans will be delighted, their entire country finally get some good news.
Poland, the hosts, are out. Zhirkov's ball in towards the edge of the box. Shot is over the bar from Zhargoev. He couldn't find the goal late on. There are 10 seconds to play of added time. The entire Greek bench is up and ready to come tearing onto this field. Don't forget, 8 years ago, they somehow went all the way and won the European Championship. It's another incredibly resilient performance tonight.
They played the same way again in this second half.
And there goes the full-time whistle. Russia are out of Euro 2012. Greece have beaten them by a goal to nil in Warsaw. The substitutes come pouring onto the pitch. All of the Greek players are arm in arm in a huge huddle in the centre circle, bouncing up and down. The manager Santos has joined in as well. Karagounis is the hero tonight. He scored the goal just before half-time, and Russia really have paid for sloppiness, tiredness and laziness. They were superb in their first game here at Euro 2012. They've been turned over by Greece tonight, beaten by the goal to nil. Pat Nevin, the final word.
Well done, Greece. They've worked really hard. It's been defensive. It's not been particularly pretty. However, you can't say you have any sympathy for the Russians. Interesting. Andrew Shavin goes over to applaud his fans. The rest of his team got off as quickly as possible, because about 30 or 40,000 Russians are furious here tonight for a team that didn't seem to care enough.
Russia are out of Euro 2012. Their players have disappeared down the tunnel. They showed so much early on in this tournament. They are gone. There is going to be a huge Greek party in Warsaw tonight. I think a fair few plates may get smashed. Karagounis with the goal. Greece 1, Russia 0. Takes Czech Republic through as group winners after their win against Poland, and Greece go through as runners-up for the head-to-head win against Russia. Wow.